Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. So this is my long-awaited head-to-head. I don't do many head-to-heads. I like them, they're okay, but judging and scoring sometimes I feel it's a bit like that. So, but this one I had to do over the last few weeks, months. San Martin, Pagani design. Two big brands on AliExpress. I know which one I favour, but they both homaged or did iterations of the same watch. So I wanted to bring you a video so we could do a direct, so we're head to head. And I'll do it like I've done before. I'm going to do it as if it's a boxing match because I want to see which one finds the range. So which one's going to get off to the best start? Is anyone going to hit the canvas? This could be interesting, and this is why I wanted to make the video. So I'll stop going on. Let's get the camera turned around and get on with round one. Hi guys, so here we are. This is the long-awaited head-to-head. As you can see, I've called it Who Can Find the Range. San Martin versus Pagani design, head-to-head. It's taken me a little while to get around to doing this video, but no time like the present. I've gone through 12 categories. There's a 10-point must scoring system in effect, given the fact I'm going to do it like a world championship boxing match. Ordinarily, you would be quite confident who would come out on top. Can the underdog pull through? We shall see. So I'll bring them up to the screen quickly. This is the San Martin. The model number I'll leave just below here. I did review this just a little while ago. You can quite clearly see what it's trying to homage at this point. This one, not quite so direct in terms of how they've done it. A little bit different. And in the review, I quite like that. So there we are. So just put that to the side. We'll go on now for the first sort of brand. Oh, nearly went too far. So the brand, this is going to be, in terms of their reputation in the short time they've been going, who really knocks it out of the park at this point. And it's going to be quite easy to start off with. So it's 10-9 for San Martin. In the past, it would have been a 10-8, I've got to be honest. Let me make these in sort of shots so you can see them a little bit better. I do think Pagani Design are trying to sort of claw their way back in terms of their reputation. They're not quite there yet. They're making a lot of good noise. San Martin, a much more proven entity of producing very, very good watches. So in terms of the brand, that was quite easy, to be honest. Let's no messing about. In the next category, we're going to get on with the size. So what do we think on this one, guys? I'll slide it straight down so we can have a butcher's. There's not a lot of difference in size. This one's only slightly smaller, but I do like the dimensions. I do like the fact the crystal thickness is making this one quite a thick boy. This was coming in at 14 mil, so I can understand some being like, "Si, what are you talking about the size?" This one, quite a bit thinner. Obviously not quite so pronounced crystal, but the sizing wise, I prefer wearing this one. I've got to say, it's one that surprised me in terms of how nice it was to wear, and that's why when I reviewed it, I was quite complimentary, just because I think it's a well executed piece by Pagani Design. So they get it back with 1919 at this point. I'm not going to do it every one, so we can have a little bit of an anticipation. But yeah, there we go. First two rounds in the bag. Even Stevens, both represent themselves very well. So let's go on to the next category, guys. And do remember, this is just a bit of fun. I'm not saying you'd score it the same, but this is how I'm scoring it. Wearability. So probably will surprise people, given the fact I said the size I've given to Pagani Design. Wearability, they both got very good points in terms of the sizing. They're both going to be sort of unisex watches, given the fact they're like 37 mils and stuff, which is going to be very, very appealing to a lot of people, I dare say. So, but in terms of the wearability, they both wear really well. Let me show you on the wrist quickly. I've said it before, I'll say it again. My wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist for your reference. And for these watches to fit me, that's what it looks like. You can see wearability wise, It's nice. They wear quite different, given the fact the Pagani is thicker, but they are quite different looking watches as well. That's something to bear in mind, given the fact that they are both paying homage to the same watch, but they've executed it quite differently, haven't they? So that's something to consider. And this is the Pagani design on my wrist. So that's what we're working with. As you can see, I think that looks really nice. I like that crystal. I like the piano black dial. Yeah, much to like about that Pagani design. So yeah, wearability, I went even Stevens with that because they're both very similar sizes. Although generally, I think the Pagani design looks and feels a bit smaller. They are quite similar, so that's why I went wearability. I sort of give them a 10-10. First even Steven round. Is that going to continue? I suppose there's no time at the present to find out. We're going to go in with the movement now. Again, even Stevens. The reason being, guys, they're both operating the Seiko NH35 movement. I guess there's an argument that the San Martin maybe could have been 9 and Pagani design 10, given the discrepancy in price. You're looking at about, the Pagani design is coming in at quite a bit cheaper than the San Martin. I leave the prices up. At the time of recording, these are the prices. So just bear that in mind. But given the fact it's the same movement, I've got even Stevens. It will start to, I'm sure things will start becoming more apparent as we go through. X Factor, yeah, I know it's going to surprise people again. The reason I like this watch is just because it's not a direct copy, guys. I know some people are going to be all for that with homage watches. For me, a homage watch is something that's sort of having a nod to another thing. It doesn't need to be a replica or something that looks exactly the same. And that's why I like this. That's why I think this has a bit more X factor than the San Martin. I like the fact it's got an exhibition case back, which I know a lot of people have been asking for. Also housing that NH35 movement I'm talking about. But the X factor for me is definitely with the Pagani design. No doubt this is quite well executed. There was a few things that I didn't like, and I was surprised about, like the loom and the hour hand and stuff, and a couple of screw pins. But as you can see, it's just a screw down case. But the problem with these ones is there's no indentations and I can't open it. But it's definitely housing the Seiko NH35 movement. So for X Factor, for me, guys, given the fact I like the fact this is a bit different, and I've had more compliments on this as well when I've worn it. So I'm going to give it the X Factor to Pagani design. Build quality. Do you know what? I know that's going to surprise a lot of people. But given the problems I had with this watch, it was very, very un-San Martin. I've got to say, very un-San Martin. So I've given it to this just because this watch was so well executed. Still the best Pagani design I've had in. Maybe not a good comparison, but where they are homage in the same watch, it felt only right to do that comparison. So, yeah, build quality, I'm going to go with the Pagani design on this one. Yeah, so let's go to the next category, bracelet. Even Stevens, and the reason for this is I really like this Pagani design bracelet. Really nice, no problems with the screw pins. Nicely finished, satin brush on top, polished at the sides, and that's why I've gone even, because although the screw pins on this were a bit of a problem, the finishing that you get with San Martin, the brushing's probably a little bit cleaner on the San Martin, but given the price and stuff, I couldn't separate the two, and that's why I've gone for a dead rubber on that one. We've gone 10 all. In terms of the clasp, yeah, San Martin need to take that. Although this one is much better executed than some they put out, because it's got a nice positive click. You'll hear it when I press it in. Nice engagement. The micro adjustment on this is a right pain in the you know what. So that's what's going to really bring it home for this one. And I do like San Martin's clasps, I've got to say. Nicely milled, 4 levels of micro adjustment. Just very, very nice. There's not much else to say, guys, to be honest. San Martin clasp are very good, and I like how they've incorporated the hexagonal logo sort of indented into the stainless steel. So yeah, very nice. So the clasp, rightly, I would say, goes to San Martin. In terms of finishing, I've gone even. I could have quite easily deducted stuff for this, But finishing for me, the Pagani design was done very, very well. Can they compete with San Martin in terms of their finishing? Probably not. When you take into consideration the price differential and bits that are wrong with the San Martin, I'd feel quite silly to give finishing to Pagani design over San Martin at this point. But yeah, very, very close actually, given the examples of the watches that I received. So that's the reason I've gone that way. In the next round, so crystal, I have gone for Pagani design, and the reason I have done that purely because I know some people are going to be like, much prefer this, much more subtle, nice domed on the Pagani, on the San Martin. But I do like that bit of crystal. That is proper, innit? Like, people moan about this thickness, but you're going to be getting a lot of thickness from that crystal. So, and I like that. I do like that crystal. It's proper, in your face, unashamed of what it is. Really cool. So that's why I've gone for that one, guys. So that's where we are with that. We're coming now. So we're now in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Final 2 rounds. These are the championship rounds. This is where it's going to be won or lost. So what have we got now? Price has to be, doesn't it? Has to be. There's no two ways about it. Like I said, the fact that Pagani design is coming in at almost half the price of the San Martin with very similar specs. The finishing that belies it being a Pagani design, I think it had to be done really. The price. And the final round, we've got enjoyability, and I'm gonna go both 10-10 because I do enjoy wearing both. I was disappointed when I got this with the problems it had, but enjoyability, I'm gonna go even Stevens on that, just because I think they are both watches that I have enjoyed wearing. I will be probably getting rid of them in the future to make way for other watches, but I've really enjoyed having these. I've had them for a while. They both got good wrist time. And how is it going to play out now? Who's going to take the title? And bear in mind, guys, this is just in my opinion. There's nothing to say that you guys are going to agree, but there's the final scores. San Martin 115, Pagani Design 118. No one ran away with it, but I think that's fair scores for what I paid for these watches, the condition they arrived in, and just my own personal opinion. So guys and girls, please let me know what you think about my scoring. Let me know if there's any other head-to-heads you'd like me to do. I'll try making this one slightly different. Head-to-heads are not really my thing. As you know, I do love reviewing new watches, but I really wanted to bash this out, let you guys have a look at it. So yeah, thanks for tuning back in. I do appreciate all your support. And with that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.